Welcome back to another edition of The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a topic that literally touches every single one of us: wealth creation. We're going to unpack the 10 definitive money rules for financial success. Now, if you've ever wondered how some people seem to just seamlessly build this massive financial fortress, while others are constantly struggling just to tread water, well, you're in the exact right place. We're going to break down the real mechanics of money so you can walk away knowing exactly how to make your finances work for you. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this fundamental question. What actually separates wealth from struggle? Like, what is the real dividing line between those who build an unbreakable financial future and those who feel like they're barely keeping their heads above water? Just take a second to really think about it. When you strip away all the noise, what truly builds a stronger financial future?
Well, spoiler alert, if you guessed you need to win the lottery, inherit a massive fortune, or land some crazy executive paycheck, you're definitely not alone, but you'd be mistaken. Actually, a surprisingly large number of lottery winners end up completely broke in just a few years, purely because they don't have a foundation. It's a huge myth that wealth requires astronomical luck. The reality? It's way more grounded. It's simply about following uncomplicated, consistent financial rules every single day. The real magic isn't a flash-in-the-pan windfall. It's the daily repetition of smart choices.
So to keep things super clear, here is our 4-part roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll establish your financial foundation. Second, we'll build the growth engine. Third, we'll cultivate the wealth mindset. And finally, taking action today. Let's hit the road.
All right, part 1, your financial foundation. This is all about playing defense, because before you can score any points, you got to protect your goal.
Let's kick things off with rule number 1, save 10%. And I mean this non-negotiably. Before you pay utility bills, before groceries, before treating yourself, you have to save or invest a portion of your income. And the trick here is to make it automatic. You know, human psychology is incredibly tricky. Actually, scratch that. It's predictable. If you wait until the end of the month to save whatever is left, you'll magically find absolutely nothing left. Expenses just rise to meet income. So flip the script. Pay your future self first. That 10% is yours to keep.
Moving right along to rule 2, spend less than you earn. It sounds almost aggressively simple, I know, but it is your ultimate defensive play against lifestyle creep. That's that sneaky little habit we all have of spending more just because we make more. Regardless of your income, living strictly below your means does 4 incredible things. It creates room to actually save, it frees up cash for that 10% we just talked about, it preps you for surprises, and man, it drastically reduces your daily financial stress. It gives your budget some much-needed breathing room.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is rule 4. The biggest enemy to your foundation is high-interest debt. Think of credit card debt like a giant iron anchor dragging behind your ship. When you carry it, you're paying this massive compounding penalty. It's literally compound interest working entirely against you, making wealth building mathematically near impossible. A crucial defensive move is to pay those balances off responsibly, aggressively if you can, and stop borrowing for lifestyle stuff you don't really need.
So how do we make sure we don't fall back into that high-interest trap? Enter Rule 5, the emergency fund. Picture this. Your car transmission blows out of nowhere. It's life, things break, right? But if you've been gradually building an emergency fund, it steps in like the hero of our story. You pay in cash, and expensive credit card debt is totally avoided. It turns what could be a massive financial crisis into, well, just a minor inconvenience.
Okay, your defensive lines are locked in. Let's shift gears and move into phase 2 of our explainer, the growth engine. Time to stop just protecting our money and start playing some offense.
Which brings us to rule 3, invest early and stay consistent. Look, in year 1, you're just starting with small, regular investments. By year 10, your main job is just maintaining consistency over perfection. You don't need to perfectly time the stock market. You just have to stay in the game. And by year 20, boom, you start experiencing some serious compound growth. Time is absolutely your biggest advantage here. It's a snowball effect where eventually your money is working way harder than you are.
Next is Rule 6, which is a real game changer. Expand and diversify your income streams. Honestly, relying on just one primary paycheck is pretty risky these days. If that single stream dries up, you're instantly in a tough spot. But by diversifying, maybe adding some freelance work, investing dividends, a side hustle, or digital products, you built multiple pillars of support. You don't have to build the whole shebang overnight, but aiming for more than one stream gives you some serious financial armor.
The crucial next step is Rule 8, buy assets before luxury. Listen, true wealth isn't generated by looking rich on social media. It's generated by actually being rich. And you do that by prioritizing assets that produce real income, like investments or a business, before you go upgrading your lifestyle with a luxury car or a massive house. Once the cash flow from your assets pays for your luxuries, that's when you know your growth engine is truly humming along.
Moving right into phase 3, the wealth mindset. You've got the defense, you've got the offense, now we need to master the inner game and the psychology of money. Rule 7 is absolutely front and center here. Keep learning about money. Read the financial books, listen to reputable podcasts, watch educational explainers just like this one. Financial knowledge is without a doubt the greatest investment you can make in yourself. The rules of the game are always evolving, and your brain is your ultimate wealth-building tool. Keep feeding it high-quality info, and your decisions will naturally get sharper.
And that feeds perfectly into Rule 9. Think long-term. You see, a lot of people caught up in this fast-track mentality, chasing quick money, jumping on fads, just totally impatient. It almost always leads to terrible emotional decisions. The real wealth track is a whole different beast. It takes massive patience, discipline, and consistent habits over many years. Wealth isn't an overnight thing, it's a marathon. Thinking long-term gives you the stamina to actually cross the finish line.
This brings us to the fourth, final, and honestly most critical phase of our explainer, taking action today. Let's turn all this theory into real-world momentum.
Here's Rule 10, plain and simple. Knowing what to do just isn't enough. The people who actually transform their financial lives are the ones who hit start. You can read every book on the shelf, but execution is what separates the dreamers from the achievers. Make one smart, decisive move today, and I promise you, it'll spark a chain reaction for tomorrow.
Now, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, please remember this. You do not need to be perfect. You literally just need to begin. So many people fall into analysis paralysis. They think they need this flawless, color-coded spreadsheet and zero debt before they can even think about investing. That is a toxic myth. Perfection is the enemy of progress here. The simple, sometimes messy act of just getting started is what moves the needle.
So let's make this as friction-free as possible with a quick 3-step framework. Step 1. Pick just one rule today. Please don't try to adopt all 10 at once, you will totally burn out. Step 2. Master that single rule completely until it's just an automatic habit. And Step 3. Once it's locked in, then you move to the next rule. Taking it step by step keeps you from getting overwhelmed, and those small actions, they add up to massive progress over time.
And that wraps up our explainer. But before you go, I want to leave you with one really important, provocative question. Which rule are you going to start with today? Are you going to log into your banking app right now and set up that automatic 10% transfer? Are you going to commit to reading one solid financial book this month? It's not about luck, it's a deliberate choice. Take control of your financial future by picking just one rule right now and putting it into action. Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you next time.